The War Council chamber aboard the Crithian flagship Endless Dominion hummed with tension. Commander Zixthor, a towering reptilian warrior whose scales had survived 300 campaigns, stood before the holographic display with his four arms crossed. His species, the Crithians, were known across 17 star systems as the galaxy's most efficient mercenaries. They had never lost a contract. Until today. Explain this. Human problem, Zixthor hissed, his forked tongue tasting the fear scent emanating from his subordinate. Lieutenant Kelimara, a younger Crithian with pristine green scales, shifted nervously. Commander, the human colony on Kepler 442b has refused the consortium's evacuation order. They claim the planet is theirs by right of settlement. Zixthor's tail lashed against the metal floor. Humans? Those weak pink creatures? The consortium hired us to clear that world for mining operations. We've displaced entire civilizations before breakfast. What makes these mammals special? Sir, there are only 2 humans leading the resistance. The rest are human colonists, yes, but these 2. Kelimara pulled up 2 files. Elsa Ramirez, engineer. Hassan al-Rashid, xenobiologist. They've somehow organized the entire colony into a defensive network we cannot penetrate. Zixthor laughed, a sound like grinding stones. 2 humans? Send the assault team. This will be over in an hour. It wasn't. Elsa stood in the makeshift command center, her blonde hair tied back in a practical bun, her blue eyes scanning the defensive grid. The mining equipment they'd repurposed into weapons glowed on her screen. Plasma cutters that could slice through Crithian armor, excavation charges positioned at strategic choke points, and the orbital satellite network they'd hacked to serve as early warning systems. They're landing 3 dropships on the western perimeter, Hassan said calmly, his dark eyes never leaving his console. His fingers flew across the keyboard, brown skin gleaming with sweat under the dim emergency lighting. 47 hostiles. Standard Crithian mercenary loadout. Activate protocol Thermopylae, Elsa replied, her voice steady despite the pounding of her heart. Hassan allowed himself a grim smile. The hot gates it is. The Crithian assault team moved through the narrow canyon with practiced efficiency. They had done this 1,000 times before. Intimidate, overwhelm, collect payment. But as they entered the ravine, the canyon walls erupted. The humans had turned the entire geological formation into a trap. Superheated plasma from the planet's geothermal vents, carefully redirected over weeks of preparation, flooded the canyon floor. Mining explosives collapsed both exits. Of the 47 Crithians who entered, 3 survived to limp back to their ship. Commander Zixthor stared at the casualty reports in disbelief. This is impossible, he growled. They are humans. Weak. Slow. Their ships barely achieve 0.3 light speed. Their weapons are primitive. How? Kelimara pulled up historical files. Commander, I've been researching their species. The humans. They have a saying, necessity is the mother of invention. But there's something deeper. They are. Persistent. Dangerously so. Show me. The lieutenant displayed records from the human homeworld. 2 global wars, nuclear weapons, environmental collapse they somehow survived, diseases they eradicated, and a relentless drive to explore despite having no natural advantages. No claws, no venom, no armor plating, no telepathy. They are pack bond creatures, sir. When threatened, they don't surrender. They adapt. And these 2, Elsa and Hassan, they're rallying the colonists using something the humans call righteous anger. Zixthor's eyes narrowed. Send everything, the entire mercenary company, 600 warriors. I want that colony erased. Elsa and Hassan stood on the colony's outer wall as the Crithian army approached. 600 alien mercenaries, their scales gleaming in the alien sun, their weapons enough to level a city. You know we can't win this, right? Hassan said quietly. Elsa glanced at him, and despite everything, she smiled. When have humans ever let terrible odds stop them? Behind them, 400 colonists, farmers, teachers, engineers, children, too young to fight but old enough to carry supplies, prepared for battle. They had no illusions they would probably die. But they would die on their own terms on the world they'd built with their own hands. For Earth, Elsa whispered. For home, Hassan replied. The Crithians attacked with overwhelming force, but the humans had spent 6 months turning their colony into a fortress. Every building was a defensive position, every street was a kill zone, every civilian was armed with improvised weapons. The battle raged for 3 days. The Crithians fought with professional brutality. The humans fought with desperate cunning. Elsa coordinated defenses from her command center, sleeping in 20-minute intervals, her mind working through tactical problems with the clarity of pure adrenaline. Hassan led counterattacks, using his knowledge of Crithian biology to target their weak points, the soft tissue between scale plates, the sensitive hearing organs, the predictable assault patterns. By the 3rd day, Commander Zixthor stood in the ruins of what had been the colony's market square. Around him lay the bodies of 423 Crithian warriors, the greatest loss his company had ever suffered, and the humans were still fighting. 176 colonists remained. They were wounded, exhausted, running out of ammunition, but they weren't surrendering. Zixthor found Elsa and Hassan in the command center, both injured but still operational. He could have killed them. Should have killed them. Instead, he lowered his weapons. Why? The Crithian commander asked, genuine confusion in his reptilian voice. Why do you fight when you cannot win? Elsa looked up at him, blood dripping from a cut on her forehead. Because this is our home. Would you surrender yours? Hassan added, his voice hoarse. We're human. We don't know how to quit. Something in Zixthor's ancient warrior heart recognized a truth. He had fought hundreds of species. Many were stronger than humans, faster, better armed. But none had this insane refusal to accept defeat. He activated his communicator. This is Commander Zixthor to Consortium Leadership. Contract terminated. The Crithian Mercenary Company withdraws from Kepler 442b. You cannot be serious, the consortium representative sputtered. I am serious, Zixthor replied, never breaking eye contact with Elsa and Hassan. I have one piece of advice for you, for the entire galaxy. Never make humans angry. You will not survive the experience. He left the colony that day. As his ship departed, he transmitted a message across all mercenary channels. Avoid human contracts. They are not worth the cost. The galaxy learned a lesson that day. Humans might be weak individually, but together, when fighting for what they loved, they became the most fearsome force in the cosmos, not because they were the strongest, but because they simply refused to lose. End.